don't come crying to me with your dumb baby problems, because I am not your mum. I'm the prettiest girl that ever talked to you.
Summer Camp Island is a new show on Cartoon Network that I recently watched all the episodes of. I was pretty critical of the pilot when I first watched it back in December of last year, but the show has been redesigned a bit. The characters look a lot better and don't have such jarring transitions between the profile views. Also, the hands look a lot better, and the characters in general are shorter and look like they fit with the backgrounds a lot more. Julia Potts, or was it Pot? Mrs. Potts? Anyway, she is the creator of the show, and she worked on Adventure Time. More specifically, she did the story for the Elements miniseries, and a few of the episodes that followed. After watching Summer Camp Island, yeah, that makes perfect sense. If there's any way I could describe this show, it's like a combination of Arthur, Adventure Time, and Camp Lazlo, because of the summer camp. I say Arthur because of the anthropomorphic characters, they just really remind me of it for some reason, and one of them even looks like Muffy. The connection to Adventure Time is obvious because of the creator, but it does take some of the more random elements of that show, like the fact that almost everything is alive.
Stops now, Marshmallow! Whoa, dude.
Oh, yeah. It tastes alive.
The main characters are Oscar the Elephant and Hedgehog the Hedgehog. They're best friends, and in the first episode, they are introduced to the island. At first, they think it's a normal summer camp, but it turns out it's run by witches. Oscar is a bit of a softie and doesn't like too much excitement, whereas Hedgehog is a bit more confident and will take risks. But I think their dynamic and friendship is pretty adorable.
Oscar! Did you try to leave? Yeah, but I came back because I knew how much you would miss me. Of course I would miss you, weirdo.
Oscar thinks that you're the coolest person on the planet.
It's okay. I think you're the coolest, too.
Pretty much all of the campers have very fitting child voices, and I really appreciate that. I can understand how some people might be off-put by that, but to me, it gives it this very comfy and chill vibe. I just can't help but smile while watching. Then there are the witches, which are like the camp counselors. But there's one witch that goes by Susie that I think is just hilarious. She's the meanest, but the way she delivers certain lines just cracks me up.
Take that, you dumb elephant.
Shouldn't that pinata have candy in it?
Nope.
Here's some other little things that I like about the show, but don't have a good way to talk about them in a structured way. The aliens look like Mogwai from Gremlins, which I mentioned before in my video about the pilot. Seems like there's an Adventure Time cameo with Forest Wizard, but a different color. I hope there might be more Easter eggs and cameos like that in the show regarding Adventure Time. There are some very subtle, dry humor jokes.
I'll even get out the cloth napkins.
Oh, the cloth napkins, you can really feel them.
And some not-so-subtle, relatable jokes.
Come back, security blanket! All I have left is my insecurity!
Overall, I think the show is a lot better than I expected it to be. I feel bad that I was so harsh on the pilot for being so weird, because I actually like this cartoon a lot. There are 20 episodes in this first season, and the ending was very interesting. The final episode reminded me of Langoliers of all things. Cartoon Network released all of the episodes in a marathon that repeated for the weekend of July 7th and 8th. They are also available on the Cartoon Network app. This method of just dumping an entire season is usually something Netflix would do. So I was very surprised that Cartoon Network, a television network, would do something like this. I'm not sure if it was such a good idea because the ratings for Summer Camp Island's premiere were below 500,000. Though that only counts for the first time the 20 episodes aired, which started at 6 AM on a Saturday. So yeah, I'm not sure if there's a more accurate way to gauge audience interest in the show. But if you are interested in checking out the show, definitely give it a watch. If you are critical of the pilot like me, you may be pleasantly surprised. So if you have seen Summer Camp Island, tell me down in the comments, and I'll see you next time. Bye.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Well, by now we're getting a bit used to winter. We're like soldiers in the middle of a campaign, growing hardened to discomfort and better able to